Good afternoon, Jai Hind. In the series of Achieving Sustainable Development Goals and Going to Moon, Mars and Beyond, we were discussing about agriculture disaster to sustainable development in India. So we discussed in 6th and 7th video about the how the gaps of healthcare, how the gaps of loans can be reduced, and what are the solutions. Now, next is age-old social problems that we are going to discuss, and these are not what we are putting here. It has been put up by Dr. R. Radhakrishnan, the director of IJIDR, and he was the head of that. He was advisor to Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh's report 2007, perhaps the only Prime Minister in India who had implemented so many things which are beneficial to the common man. So, what he has quoted is, they are, they can shake the humanity straight away. First point, land reforms and feudal forces in certain states pose major problems for agriculture growth, where some rich farmers take loans for tractors. They utilize the system very well. They can manipulate the system very well. They buy a tractor, costly tractor, and then they sell it, and then they buy the luxury car, and they donate it to the groom in the marriage of their daughter. How much manipulations are doing? This is corruption, nothing else. That is killing the system. So influential, rich and powerful people are influencing it. That is what he is saying. Most of the farmers who committed suicide in Vidarbha and Maharashtra, they were belonging to the mostly to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and nomadic tribes. And few also belong to upper caste as well. So farming suicide is inclusive of all religions, all caste, all creeds, and it is universal in India, beyond caste, religion, creeds. Okay, even upper caste farmers also have committed suicides. So it's a very big social issue, and hence we are discussing. Another thing, interest rates of cars and homes in India in 2005 and 6 were 10%. Okay, however, for farmers 18 to 24% was there. Imagine how partial it is. The farmer who gives us food, they have been taxed more than others. Thus, high interest rates, low return on produce, and loans leave the farmers indebted for successive years. This is what he has written. Next he has written is 80% of the farmers in India are scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and they own marginal lands. So this is a very big issue. So social reforms are required. Borrowings from, next point is, from money lenders are still high, that too with higher interest rates, and above all, credit from formal sector declined in last 3 years. Because if they are going to take 1 year, one of the farmers said, it takes 12 months to get my loan approved. So he goes to that lender and he gives it immediately, but he taxes more, 25-50% more. I mean, that is what he said. Then farmers, next point is, as migrant workers sending money to their homelands. So where do they stay, how do they stay, what they eat, how poor lifestyle they have, that also he has highlighted. Now what are the possible solutions? One of the farmer, you call them illiterate, but he has provided the best literate solution, in fact. Declining social values and playing with the social pressure of values based system and manipulating the legal system to benefit themselves is the game of rich and influential people, and government must deal it with a strict norms as soon as possible. Delay will have dangerous ends, as already people are losing faith in the legal system, on the governments across the world, and for not getting decision faster rate. A illiterate farmer has provided this solution, so called, no? But when he said, Sahab, I said, why are you calling me Sahab? You call me you call me Ashish. His name I won't quote here, otherwise. um, okay, so that also has happened. Now next solution is, problem of interest rates for loans can be solved by government considering 80% marginal farmers among farming population in India who provided us food, and declining these rights will pose a problem in future. Definitely. Please, it was farmers' problem that posed a big problem for British India, and it took big strides, and British had to leave India in few decades. So farmers are very big entities in India. Annadata. If you Annadata means the food providers, if they are not taken care well, they have kicked out the foreign invaders, then what will happen to the governments, we don't know. That is what it has been mentioned over there, and some of the people also said that. Next point is, money transfer could be done authentically using the trustworthy system of Aadhaar and unique ID. This government has already done, past government also have done that. So standard operating procedure should be there. But marginally sending 5,000, 10,000 will not work, because inflation is so high that if you go and buy the seeds, they cost more than 40,000, 36,000. So what will they do with the 10,000? I mean, imagine such kind of things are there. We should take care of those things. The things money can do, money only can do, whether it is electronic payment or whatever it may be. And humanitarian things can be taken care by humanitarian ways only. So this is where the governments will have to jump. Both, I mean, the national government and state governments, even local governments will have to take care of all these things. Now, next point is been quoted by the Shimon Peres, the deputy prime minister of Israel in 2000, January 29, 2007. That I am quoting over here. What he said: problem of carrying poor from Nehruvian socialism to Western capitalism. In fact, India, Britain, and all these countries, they don't care whether it is capitalism or socialism, what it is there. What they are always taking the best points from best economies, and they try to implement in their countries. Even in Israel, same thing was there. What he quoted is, it has come into Economic Times, 29 January 2007. Today, driving force in India is economic, but there are different levels of development, and this is where India suffers. In some areas like information technology, India is doing well, but in the change from Nehruvian socialism to Western capitalism, the poor must be carried along. So the inclusive growth should be there. That is what he means. Later he added, Israel is also very much concerned about the suicide by the farmers in India. Shimon Peres said, Israel. So what is the best possible solution? Our survey shows globally both capitalism and communism and socialism have failed in inclusive growth and to reach each one. This is I am quoting here right now, upfront. All kinds of economies have failed, whether it's socialism, capitalism, or mixed capitalism and socialism, you name it. So, you know, we have to find out a best solution over this. Authentic standard operating procedure using Aadhaar we'll have to build. Then, uh, millions of farmers will have to be provided with all the facility, all the educations required to to upgrade their knowledge layer from the before climate change occurred and now the climate change is there, so that they come to certain level where they can take care of themselves. They also want to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. They don't want to depend on the governments as well, but we have to train them, or we have to enhance their skills, so that, and even judiciary and government system also will have to get rid of influential, rich and powerful people, and justice should be given to even to the poor farmers. That is what is the best solution. Next point is problem of lack of vision of inclusive growth. This is quoted by NABARD, in fact, 2001 report. It shows that there are number of societies in India. To be precise, 1072 societies registered under NABARD. But the maximum members registered till date was only 100 million out of 600 million farmers in India. It means it is 1/6 of the farmers, those are registered in the societies. Rest 500 million, 50 crore farmers are not registered in India. Imagine, it is more than the population of USA. So the major reason we found out it is one independent survey was that registration fees were too high. The reserves stand about 3325 per farmer, 3325 per farmer borrowings, where 11,410 per member. So, they cannot afford, neither they can afford 3,325 per farmer, and they cannot afford 11,410 per member as well. So in monsoon dependent farming, even middle income farmer cannot afford to pay, leave aside the marginal farmers. Thus we lack the vision of inclusive growth, of taking poor and rich farmers towards common goal of self-sustenance. This is the finding of NABARD 2001 report. Now what is the best solution? Again, to reduce this gap, we'll have to come down on the earth and not live in the ivory towers and take care of farmers. We'll have to, using the unique idea again, we'll have to make them members. For what purpose this money is taken, we'll have to we will have to take care of that. Why not all farmers get registered using Aadhaar only for some marginal amount? Because it is if they are trained, they are going to give the best output. Just 3,000 into 600, it comes out to be 6 3s are 18. It means it is just 1.8 billion, for example. Okay, 1.8 billion rupees. Even if you take 18 billion rupees, the 18 billion is not more than $300 million. It's just partly sum. When you have $2 to $3 trillion budget, it is nothing. Because these same 600 million farmers are going to produce more than 125 million tons of food grains. That might cost trillions and trillions of dollars. So we will have to think over it, because an educated farmer is better than uneducated farmers who is committing suicide and creating social havoc. Frankly. Next is problem of not capitalizing age-old farming knowledge or organic farming. This is a big issue. You see, China has have reserves since 2007 10,000 square kilometer of land simply for jatropha plantation or such oil seeds, in fact, because they want to produce the that kind of oils. I mean, organic oils, which can be used for uh, the industrial purpose, the vehicle running purpose as well. So you can imagine that because of this decision, as the prices of the fuel came down, so they crossed 10 million unit sales of automobile in their country. I mean, it is 2007 data. So their economy grew, their everything grew, in fact. Their manufacturing sector grew, their service sector grew. Then farmers were encouraged to produce different kind of produce. They are top 5 in so many uh, agriculture produce that you can't imagine even. You know, I thought that India is number 1 in this, but it was China. I thought Brazil is number 1 in this, one in this, but it was China again. So you see, they are taking strides. I mean, we should take good things from each and every one. So what is the best possible solution? Organic farming knowledge of India will die if we don't take care of that. One of the lady, uh, we call it grandmother, her grandmother, she has a collection of 129 organic food. It includes wheat, rice, maize, linseed, you name it. 129 major crops in India. They have been grown since ages. And she does that kind of farming in her farms. And she has all the collection. Then she provided it to the agriculture universities and they noted it down. This documentation is very important. And you know, uh, if it is not documented well, then this might be lost forever, because India is the oldest culture and civilization and still existing. If these things die, then that culture and civilization has also died. Only human beings doesn't make the civilization. That knowledge, that culture, that experience, if it is propagating and that is making humanity survive, then only we can call that is been surviving. Okay. So knowledge of organic farming, age old organic farming is very important. This will give, boost confidence of the farmers. Every time you cannot say that you buy the tractor and mechanize everything. They are interested in organic farming. Let them do it. In Himalayas, in Sahyadris, in Western Ghats, in Eastern Ghats, I have met thousands of farmers. They want to do organic farming and traditional farming only. They believe that is the way of life. Okay, let us help the farmers.